We got to get a garden trellis going for our plants now in the garden to make sure that they're going to be growing up before it starts happening. All right, so there's many ways that you can do a garden trellis. We're basically just gonna be using utility posts, and then we have some welded wire that we've been using for all of our fencing around here. We have leftovers of it, and that's how we're gonna make it. There's many ways that you can do it though. This is what we have laying around, so it's the easiest way to do it for us. So you can see I got the trellis done. Few things. One, because we didn't have the exact distance the same from like this box to this box, and not distance as in like how far apart they are, but where their corners match up. Unfortunately, our arch, as you can see, it gets to this point. This side we started from, it worked out on that T-post. But when we got to this side, it was too far over to this side. So you can see I have a lot of pieces that I cut off from there that unfortunately it's not the 100% now perfect arch. Just a few pieces here and a little piece here. And most importantly, it's gonna do its job of when the vegetables grow up, they're gonna go up on top of the trellis. So it's gonna do what it needs to do. And that's what the most important part is. Does anyone else think that the worst part about doing projects is cleaning up everything afterwards? Whether it's you have projects that you're almost done with, so you don't want to pick everything up, so you leave it out, and then a week later comes by, you haven't worked on it again, and for some reason you've been carried away working on some other thing that became more important, and all of a sudden your yard starts to just build up with stuff. And trying to make sure I clean up all this now, because this project is done. There's no need for any of it to be around, so I got to try to make sure I get it picked up. So we've been trying to find a new feeder for the chicks, because we've just been using bowls. They knock it over a lot, and then it's just all over the ground. They still eat it off the ground, but we wanted to find a better system that could hold more food, so we don't have to come up here every day to fill it. So they have some kind of system so that if we needed to go for a night or something like that, we weren't going to be back, but they had food here. And this is the solution we figured out. Hey guys. So this is a rabbit feeder. I mean, I don't think it's specifically called that, but if you go to the rabbit section in any farm store, they do it because rabbits are good at chewing through any kind of plastic or anything like that with their sharp teeth. So this is so that they can't chew through it. What's nice is that this is rust resistant. So if you wanted to have it out in a rain spot, we're gonna have it covered up underneath the spot here where our tarp is. And I'm hoping that I can just hang it right up on the wire, and now they'll have that food here. It'll be off the ground. They can't spill it and knock it over, hopefully. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That system should be much better for the food for the chicks. They've been locked up. I shouldn't really say locked up. They have a huge run. We've been locking them up today, but one of them keeps escaping. And I think they just find a way to jump on top of this gate here that I made. I put a small wiring up above it. She's still finding a way to jump up over it and get on there. So I haven't been able to catch it on video just yet, or even see it with my own eyes. But I'm thinking that's what she's doing. Sonny, no. No, Sonny. That's what you were doing. Sonny, you can't keep breaking out. Sonny, I see that you taught your friend how to do it as well. Not good. You are starting bad habits. You're setting a bad example. You're gonna let everybody else learn how to do that. You gotta stay with your crew, stay with the flock. So now I know they're just jumping off the support of this little fencing right here and then jumping over, which I thought was gonna stop them. It obviously has not, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to either flip this. As you can see, this kind of bends out towards me, so maybe I'll flip it around so that it bends out towards them, and then that would kind of stop them. I hope it doesn't hurt them too much the first time trying to jump it, but hopefully after that first time it would teach them, unless they figure out a way to make that work. And then if that doesn't work, maybe put some chicken wire across it, but they are sly little chickens. The reason that we made the big run for them is now that we have our garden starting and we have plants into the ground, that we didn't want them to hop over and get into our garden at all, since everyone says that as soon as a chicken gets its way in the garden, everything's gonna be gone. So we've been trying to avoid that. Holy moly. I don't think that food, this is like where you feel like you made a step forward and things are going good. Doing all this stuff and learning on the go, it's hard sometimes. Now that they have more food to go through, they scratch it all over the place, so that didn't work. It doesn't even look like they ate that much of it, but maybe they did, and they just have a lot on the ground still too, but that is not good. So scratch that one off the win list. All right, so yesterday we collected all their eggs after about 3 or 4 days of not doing it. So I'm probably gonna let them have the eggs in there because we've been trying to let them kind of sit on them longer if they want to. But I like now to see how many eggs that we actually got for the day, now that I can kind of keep track and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, that seems kind of low. Let's see. And it looks like we got 1 straggler. So that would be 6, which still seems low, but I guess 6 could be right. We have 9 laying hens, so 6 might be the magic number today. But it makes me wonder, because Sunny's been breaking out all the time, and you guys comment below if you know if this correlates to it or not. But she's been our big hen of kind of being very broody, finding a spot to lay that's not in a nesting box sometimes, sitting on her eggs for longer periods. I'm wondering if she has an egg stash somewhere outside of this run, not in the nesting box. And maybe we're supposed to have 7 today. 7's kind of more the number that we usually get, I feel like, but 6 could be right too. Time to move these guys once again. I don't know if it was that bad before or they're really starting to eat grass a little bit more. All right, so last time we moved this chicken tractor, they came out while we were doing it because we got to raise it up a little bit higher, so might as well let them out free ranging a little bit while we're gonna move it. They have no grass, so when it gets wet, it's total mud in there for them. We need to get them to some fresh grass and give that time to recover. It's stinky in there, so we need to make sure that we get them out of that spot and get them into a new spot. It's not that good for them in there. Let's get them to some fresh grass. Really? So they're enjoying probably having fresh grass to graze now compared to what we just had them in with all that mud. Unfortunately, we were kind of hoping, we knew we had 2 roosters for the most part out of this group. We were kind of hoping one of them may be a hen, but we just saw them fighting each other. They were jumping up, kind of competing for dominance. And unfortunately, that would give us 12 hens to 2 roosters, which isn't the worst ratio that you could come up with. But unfortunately for us, we'll probably have to get rid of one of these guys. And what you'll want to do is do it at a younger age so that somebody else who has that rooster, they can put them into their own climate and let them adjust as they're getting to that older stage where they kind of, the hormones kind of kick in more for a rooster. So we're going to probably put one of them up now for someone to come get. We have 2 roosters, one's darker, one's lighter. The lighter one seems to have a little bit more of a calmer presence with us compared to the other one, so Unfortunately, we'll probably have to get rid of one of these guys, but it's better to do it now at this age when they're younger than to do it when they're older. And then we can kind of focus in and try to make that one rooster more accustomed to us. Whew. Well, that's gonna wrap up another day of getting some projects done and then leaving some projects unfinished. Thank you guys all for tuning in again. You guys have a great day and a better tomorrow. We'll see you in the next one.